I live on Fisher, and the reason why it's important to me is my understanding they're looking at basically taking Fisher and turning it into a minor artery, which would definitely increase traffic. My assumption is they're going to be widening the road, putting more lanes in, and it doesn't take a great deal of investigation. As you can see, the cars going by, this is already an extremely busy street.
I am a resident of Fisher Avenue. I'm directly on Fisher Avenue. I've lived here for 18 years, and directly across the street from my house is the experimental farm and a corridor that has been slated for development. It's a biodiverse area. It is essentially an extension of the experimental farm. It is enjoyed by families, residents, and right now during COVID, it has taken on incredibly more importance. It's become more important because of the emphasis on being outside. The planned development would over-intensify a street that is already incredibly difficult, close to two hospitals, limited parking, has bike lanes on both sides, and I mean, we're during COVID right now, and you can see the volume of traffic that is here right now. Quadruple this, and I think you get a picture of how it is before COVID with just this amount of residential traffic. The development would fly in the face, I think, of the experimental farm's purpose and would be an over-intensification without proper foresight, in my opinion.
So like it even says in the City of Ottawa's own forest urban management plan, that intensification in close proximity to these vulnerable urban forests is really bad for their health. So you can find out about that by looking at their own plan.
Basically, tower condominiums with commercial space on the first floor. It's going to totally ruin the neighborhood. The fact of the matter is there's no need for any more commercial space at this point in time. Simply because there's so much of it being abandoned right now. I think they should wait a few years until all of it's reoccupied once things completely open up before they start even considering stuff like that. But over and above the fact that, the commercial real estate stuff aside, Fisher's already a busy enough street. There's no reason to add more traffic to it. I mean, it's just going to make it that much harder for the people who live here to get around if they turn it into essentially a minor thoroughfare.
And I'm afraid that if we keep building bigger, and bigger, we're going to lose that in the neighborhood. Because with apartments, a lot of people don't know one another. They don't go out of the way for each other. And I think now with COVID, we've just become more aware how much community is important. You know, we have to take care of each other. And I see that disappearing the more we build.
Problem is that this street isn't really expandable, right? It can't be expanded. There's nowhere to expand it to. And it's already got a lot of traffic, and it's an important north-south corridor particularly for neighborhoods that are further south of us. Adding 6-story buildings along here with potential retail is going to really increase that traffic, and I think just put it to a standstill. So we've been using these signs, Keep Fisher Green, and we have a website. And when we say Keep Fisher Green, we mean green in both senses. So green in the terms of the health of the forest, that kind of green, but also green in terms of keeping the traffic flowing, keeping the lights green, keeping the cars going.
So
the residents of Fisher have really come together and organized. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's very important for stuff like this to take place simply because individuals can't fight City Hall, but large groups can. And let's face it, the City Hall in this city is not all that. It's not making a lot of friends these days, and there's no reason why it should.
Well, thank you very much for your time.